And we're live. Welcome to Waffleboard Breaks. How's everybody doing? Hope you enjoyed the game last night. Are you not entertained? This is exactly what you want to see in the Stanley Cup Finals, especially Stanley Cup Final rematch with a beast in the East going for back to back, and the two best players on the planet trying to cement their legacies with their first cup in the rematch. And it was a pretty crazy game. I mean, Canada Dry is dead nasty. First goal, last goal of the game. Florida played great. Obviously, they're talking about them playing a little passive. I guess at the end, in the end of overtime, they're kind of dumping it out of the down and dumping it down, dumping it out of the rink. That's what got the penalty. They got the power play, and especially you expect in overtime, even with the scrapes, the choppy ice at the end of a period. You try not to have that hurt you, but that was an absolutely perfect pass by Corey Perry, the Worm, the babyface assassin, now in his 40s, but right to McDavid. Of course, you give it to McDavid down low. He's going to find Dry, and Dry buried that. That was pretty much almost unstoppable. I mean, it would have been one of the greatest saves of Bobrovsky's career if he gloved that. But that was how you end it. I mean, it was pretty impressive, fun to see. Hope you guys were watching the game last night. That's the way that hockey season should end. I expect the whole series to be like this. I don't expect Edmonton to wipe away with Florida. But obviously, that big first game at home, they say it's never officially a series until a home team loses, which could be the case. But these teams both play so well on the road. So I mean, Florida is an amazing team. Something like they have so many. Their defense is amazing. Both these teams have so many goals from their defense in this playoffs. It's mind-boggling. I wish looking at Tampa's defense game in and game out that you just don't have that threat. I mean, your power play is, usually 4 4s and a Hedman usually at the back. Now Sergeyev is now in Utah, so they just don't have that puck mover. And even Hedman is a future Hall of Famer, but he's not, the most mobile like a puck bringer, like play driver. He's got a great shot. I mean, he'll get shots on net. He'll get shots to be tipped. He gets some goals, especially with playing with the playmakers on that power play. But they don't have that guy that just commands it from the point. I mean, Cooch commands it from the sidewall. That's kind of their point guy. But it'd be nice to see Tampa with a little more mobility on the back end. I mean, they got some thumpers. I mean, nice to see Mosier healthy all year, and Saranac is definitely a good wide body, and McDonough was great to have him come back, but they don't have that defenseman, that mobility that scares you. They got some young guys, but I just don't think they're quite up to the task. So, Georgie, good, okay. Johnny 5 grabbing Georgie. Like I said, 4 beans. There we go. Let me put that down there. Johnny Majority, you need the details to send payment. Obviously, just PayPal or Venmo or Cash App. All three are good. So that's one of the 3. The other 2 are left. Obviously, the boys and this Saracen. No Blues love. What's up with that? Like, I'm expecting we get no love for certain teams sometimes here, but seeing no love for the Blues, especially when you guys trying to build, a complete set of the league. St. Louis has been always tough for me to find stuff, so that's why I grabbed the boys when I saw it, and Tarasenko's right out of my PC. So there, thank you very much, PayPal. I appreciate that. I'm sure they came through. Not a problem. Thank you very much. We'll break, of course, if the last 2 fill, but even not. So thank you, John. Let me get you down there. So John R stepping in and grabbing the cheap spot. Just needs one to win. Proof positive Tuesday night. Nick F swung in at the nick of time, closed us out with 1 spot, and that's the spot that hit the Bo Horvat reverse retro, which was stunning when it came out the box. It was such a beautiful jersey. Obviously, he's superstar and a leading scorer with the Isles, and like I said, he's been consistent. Gives you 30 goals a year, so it's nice to see that come out. And obviously, closing mojo is real. We've seen that more than a couple times, so it's nice to see Nick F come in and drop that one. So now there's only 2 spots left. So these are kind of like closing mojo, having just the boys in the Tarasenko. But who wants the Blues? Nobody wants the Blues. I'll give you $10 for both Blues if you want both Blues. Someone wants to step up and grab the Blues. You can close us out with 10 beans. I would not be a problem with that. Obviously, they're 4 and 7, so we can do that. But like I said, I don't want to eat the spots. But if somebody wants spots just to have spots, like 1 in 31 odds, obviously you got 2 spots. If you don't have one already, you're looking at 1 in 15 chance of hitting if you have both of the blue spots. So, but like I said, I do know. In fact, I don't even know. I'm trying to think if I have a Blues jersey in the PC now that I sent in to Tarasenko. I think I have one of those. It's a Chinese, but it's nice because it's had to have one. I have a Brett Hull. I got it pretty cheap. So, but I mean, it's not like a legit, CCM. It's one of the old fakes, but it's still Brett Hull autograph, which is, CO8 and everything, but I didn't have a Brett Hull in the PC. So until I decide to upgrade it, it's got to have that in there at least. So, but that's the I'm trying to think of any other Blues. I don't think so. I've had Blues come in and go out. We've had Kyrou. I've got that into the boxes. He's hit. Trying to think of any other Blues that we've had. They have a Shanahan, but it's a whale. I don't think I have a Blues one. I'm trying to think. I might not have. I got Oates, but it's a Bruins jersey. Like I said, I don't think I have any other Blues in the PC. I don't even know who I'd go for. I try to think. I don't want a Federico or Mike Liud or going back. Scott Stevens I have as a what's my Stevens? It's a Devils jersey, I think. Do I have a Scott Stevens? Caps? I don't have a Blues. Oh, you know what? That's not true. I lied. I have a Pronger, St. Louis Vintage Fanatics. That's I got a C prong with the diagonal. That's what I have in the Blues. I mean, yeah, and I have. It's not true too. I got a fear. I got a fear with the inscription for the 75 games played. So I do have Blues. I don't think I have an Adidas Blues. I think obviously the Tarasenko's an Adidas, and I'm almost 100% positive I don't have an Adidas or Nike Pro or CCM Coho. I don't have any of the Pro Reebok Pro. I don't have a Pro model of Blues. So I guess until they get somebody that interests me enough to grab one. New Jersey Scott Stevens. I'm trying to think. Like I think I have a Stevens, but I don't know if I have a Blue Stevens. I'm gonna have to look at my PC. Like, I mean, it'd be boxed up because I don't think it would be hanging. I don't love Stevens. I mean, I love the player. I mean, he was a great thumper. Keep your head up, or Stevens will destroy you. Scott Stevens. I mean, I hated the fact that he destroyed Korea, even though Korea came back and scored a goal in that game. But he destroyed Paul Korea. He destroyed, Eric Lindros. I mean, it's Lindros, you're 6'4" and you're a Mack truck. You don't expect somebody to pulverize you as much as Stevens did in that instance. But like I said, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'm almost positive I have a Stevens. Maybe the Devils. Is it a Christmas tree colored Devils? Maybe. I don't know. When we get done here, when I'm upstairs and we're looking at my list, I'm almost positive I have a Stevens, but I didn't realize. I mean, I know Devils wise, I got Marty, of course. You have to have a Marty. And of course, one of my favorites is Scotty Needs. I got a Niedermeyer Devils and a Niedermeyer Ducks. And I got Niedermeyer Kamloops too. So, I'm a big Scotty Niedermeyer fan. So, but yeah, like I said, anybody that wasn't watching last night definitely missed out because that was some good stuff. Like talking high ends, like high octane, just thumping. Every check was finished in that game. Nobody got away with soft passes off the boards. You got to be expecting to get hit after you made a play, and it was good. Like I said, it was. When Boucher said he felt it was the most hitting he's seen in a game this playoffs. I mean, he's down there at ice level. It's that tells you something. And like I said, they were making it to make it matter, and it was great. Like I said, when you see to get to see the 2 best players Obviously since Drysdale didn't score a goal in last year's finals, I mean that's tough to forget. I mean, but it's having 2 goals in game one, the first goal and the last goal. I mean, he's here to win it. And I'm not saying Florida's going to go quietly, but I say you might see a little bit of their attrition from losing some of their players. I mean, obviously, it's both these teams. You lose players. Hyman is out for good. But it's obviously Florida's going to make sure that they're. I mean, they're more limping than having guys injured. They've been banged up. There's been some wars in the East, and like you said, you want to be as healthy as possible. But that was a great game one. Like I said, I don't know if it was the best finals game one ever, or in recent memory, but it was entertaining, especially since I don't really have a vested interest. I just want to see good hockey. I would be happy for whoever won. Of course, I think if I had to say, I'm 52% rooting for Edmonton and 48% rooting for Florida, because I would love to see both teams win. Like you see a goal, you see Dry, and I saw the play happen. Like I've seen them play enough, watching that I knew what was going to happen when Perry made that soft little backhand tap to McDavid. I'm like, game. I said, unless Bob comes up with one of the greatest games of his career, I said, that's game. I said, McDavid with the puck at the bottom of the circle and Dry. Like I said, you can't even blame Barkov. I mean, he's shorthanded. I mean, Barkov can only be in so many places at once. He was trying to. He left the middle to kind of get to McDavid, because you can't have McDavid do whatever he wants at the goal. So he basically left the spot, and Draisaitl is lethal as a finisher. The dude led the league in goals for a reason. He is lethal. When there was a space, especially on the power play, when there was a space, he jumped into that, and McDavid's the best player in the world. Oh, okay, there you go, Big Al. Taking Tarasenko, that'd be nice in one of your products. I ain't going to deny that Tarasenko is a beaut. Like I said, it's been sitting in my PC ever since I won that many, many, many moons ago, back when Tarasenko hadn't signed any of his autograph cards. So there was no way to get Tarasenko autos except for a couple Panini products had hard signed stuff and stickers, but not many. So most of the stuff came back in redemptions for him. And of course, the jerseys were the few places that we saw, because he hadn't done any. Like since then, he's done signings and he's played so many places that you see them. But you want to win that for yourself? There you go. No, I said, it's you know what? Like I said, it was in my PC proudly for many years now, and if you win that, you hit that. I mean, it'll be in your PC. It's a beautiful the Blues. Like you said, we don't see so many of them. So when you see the Blues Adidas jerseys come out, they're just stunning. It's a beautiful jersey. Like you just don't see them a lot. Obviously you almost never see like the white ones. I guess they have a yellow now, I guess, as an alternate, but the blue, it's just I love the different shades of blue they use on it, like a blue and a very dark blue. It's a very, very pretty jersey. So, and Tarasenko, like I said, I just remember looking at that autograph, because you never see it. I have a couple, came out of Panini Prism or the final product they put out, Anthology. That was the only place. Actually, I don't think he was in Anthology. I think they might have been redemption stuff in Anthology. I think maybe only Prism, because he did have a regular, which was impossible to find, and then he had like in the Select Stars. And that was a sticker. I have one of each. I have a Select Stars, which is the autograph and a jersey, and they were very serial numbered. Everybody in the set was serial numbered to 25 or less. The patch variation stuff, but yeah, like I said, I still have my Tarasenko cards. Like I said, I like, it's, I haven't moved on from any of that, but the jersey, I had that jersey. I was happy to have that one. So, but yeah, so that's a nice one to have. So, we're not going to pressure anybody for the boys. We'll break without that. If boys hits, I'll random it to their room. I'm not going to force anybody to have to shell out for the boys even if they want just one spotter. Boys is going to be a community hit. We'll do that today. Not a problem for me. I don't mind that. So, but yeah, we'll do that. Not a problem. So I hope everybody enjoyed the game yesterday. Obviously game 2 tomorrow. I wouldn't, like I said, I'm not going to say Florida's going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do take that one, go back home, tied at 1, which was, obviously it's going to be a lot of consternation in Edmonton because, they have 35 years now since they've won the cup. So, it's been a long stretch. They've been there a couple times, but they obviously, they haven't been able to take one home. But so it's gonna be fun to see if Edmonton wins tomorrow, going to Florida up 2-0. Ooh, sunrise will be craziness for game 3 and 4. So Florida with their back against the wall. And like I said, having lost to Vegas a couple years ago and having won last year in game 7 after having been up 3-0, there's no situation that Florida doesn't see themselves in. Like they have the experience of having been up big and lost the lead. They've had the experience of coming back on teams. They've lost the cup final. They've won a cup final. Like there's no real situation that you can say they're going to falter because they haven't been there before. Like that team is as veteran lead. I mean, even the guys they brought in, guys like Marchand, have win elsewhere. Like it's not like they even brought in like I said, brought in like talented players that just haven't won yet. But they got guys that have won. But like I said, Edmonton is the slight rooting favorite for me because even though Jeff Skinner didn't play in game 1, I would hope to see he gets a chance to lace him up at some point in time in the finals. Even though he's only played 2 games in the playoffs, and he got a goal in the second game. I would love to see Jeff Skinner get some shifts, and Corey Perry to get another one to cement his legacy. He's probable. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer, but he's a probable Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's a lock, but the dude's been in 5 of the last 6 finals. That's pretty impressive. You got to end up signing or trading or ended up in the right place at the right time, but that's something to be said to be 5 of the 6 last finals. Have you been attending? So that's pretty good. And obviously McDavid and Draisaitl will be future Hall of Famers. So it'd be nice to see them get a cup out of the way now without having to wait till later in their careers. Having been to the finals last year, time for them to take one home. But I'm not going to be sad if Florida wins. So it's just be good. It's good finals. Good start to the finals. I don't want anybody to think that this should be over quickly. It's gonna be fun. So let's get going. Like I said, the spots are live on eBay. Obviously, we're at 30 and 29 on the Sunday. So get your bids in. We still have, like I said, 14 from the reload that we haven't hit. Obviously, we've only hit 2 since we reloaded. We'll see what comes out tonight. 31 boxes, 14 of the last reload. We've been chipping away at the older stuff. Still, the old stuff is still up there. I noticed Big Al missed out on one, so I don't want to curse anything, but I'm not rooting for or against anything. But seeing some of the old jerseys come out, I think we're due for a new one. I'm not going to make a prediction, but we'll see what comes out. Even though I kind of called the shot last break. I said, here we go. I said, when the numbers go, I said, are you serious? We're gonna hit the Horvat. So that was just funny to see that happen. I told Ron's probably watching. I told him, I said he hit to spite him because Ron came in with his clothes. He was like, I'll take everything except the Horvat. I'm like, the Horvat woke up in the box and said, okay, I'm coming. So that's just funny. Like I said, it's all new. That's all the randomness. And I said, I've been a winner in that situation and a loser. So I know exactly what it feels like. I've been every one of these situations, with you guys or against you guys. And, so I know the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. That's the way they used to be on the sports, ABC Sports, NBC, ABC, CBS. I don't know, whichever one of the big 3 it was, the agony of defeat. So let's get going. He said, yeah, you've had 90 and 95. Yeah, that's what it is. And, it's like I said, but you've hit so many other times when you've had them. So it's like you feel like those are wins, but you definitely would like to hit it eventually when it comes out, which it will. It's been such a long time. Like it boggles the mind mathematically how many times you go through a randomizer and that number hasn't come up yet, which is just mathematical. It's just absurd. So, but let's get going. Okay. Good luck, guys. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. And we'll be back here on Sunday. I guess it's a game Sunday because I think they take 2 days off I think they take 2 days off. So I think game 3 will be Sunday, I'm assuming, in Florida. And then Tuesday again. So next week, remember, we're doing Tuesday and Wednesday next week I'll put the sign up this weekend so you guys know that. Tuesday and Wednesday. Instead of Tuesday and Thursday next week, it'll be Tuesday and Wednesday. So just remember that. Let me see. Okay. Let's get my randoms up so we can get a box out here. Good luck, everybody. Where's my dice and my lists? Okay. 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 Here we go. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. Like I said, the community spot today is the Brad Boys. If Boys hits, it will be random to the rooms. All 31 spot, or 30 actually, all 30 spots will be eligible to hit the Boys. So the more spots you have, the better chance if Boys hits. But until we get to that, we'll see what happens. So here we go. Let's get over to the dice. Okay, you guys know the drill. 5 or more, of course, on our dice roll. Here's our boxes, of course, still in order. 60 and 3 from last year. 30, 38, 53, 57. Then we got 3, 62, 72, 75. And then, of course, we have the, I believe, 8. Where's my list? 8 and 14. Last 2 rounds are 8 and 14. All the way up to 11. So there we go. So good luck, everybody. See what we got. Nice. There's a little bit of symmetry. I got the columns of 3 7s, and then I got 2 stacks of 5 on the side. So we're going to break that up tonight. Let's do it. 5 or more. See what we got. 9 times. 9 times, Mr. Bueller. Okay, let's do it. 9 times. Get everybody ready. Good luck. Good luck, everybody. Let's see what we got. 31 boxes. 2 times. 3 times. 4. A 5, 6, 7, 8. And the box we're going to open tonight is going to be box number 11. 11 is a reason. 11 is the very last box on stacks. There we go. 11. 9 times. 31 boxes. 9 times. 31 boxes. That was easy to get to. Box number 11. Ooh. Okay. And that's easy. That's there. There it is. You can see that right on the side. Box number 11. Okay. Good. Let me make my notations here so I have it recorded for posterity. Box 11. Good luck. Everybody that's got jerseys due, I'm sending them out. No, that does not mean it's Morrissey per se. I don't know. Like I said, he may be last on the list, but that's not always the case. Though it always wears me out when I go over to the jersey and I go across the sheet to see where it is and it's matches up. I was like, oh, come on, yeah, that's completely random as well. So these boxes have been shuffled up and divided up and jumbled up. And like I said, even if I do it the day before, I never know where the jerseys are. So, but we'll see. So if Morrissey, Mike H is hoping that's the case. So box 11. Okay, let me get my sheet here. So 14 guys, 14 spots. Brad Boys is not in this, so I'm hitting the boys. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think 9 different people. There's a lot of different people in this reload. So good luck, everybody. Where's my knife? Box 11. Let me see what we got. Some cool stuff. Some really cool stuff in this reload. So here we go. Now down to 30 boxes. 30 and 29 on Sunday. So get ready. That's what everybody's odds. Getting into the 20s after Sunday, of course. Box 11. Box 11. Box 11 gives us, and this is a Legends, Toronto Maple Leafs, Eddie Shack, Reebok, Toronto Maple Leafs, Eddie Shack. Back when the Maple Leafs were winning cups, Ed Shack, number 23, Frozen Pond COA. There it is. Beautiful Reebok, Eddie Shack. There we go. Fan favorite, Toronto Maple Leaf, back when they were a Stanley Cup contender, which they would like to get to eventually again, but they haven't come very close in quite some time. Toronto Maple Leafs, old school Leaf, Reebok jersey. There we go. Eddie Shack. Let's see what we got. Congratulations to whoever had the Shack spot. Let's see the Shack attack. Let's see what we got. Shack is. No, you had a new one. You had the Tarasenko. You were live, Big Al. You got into it late, so that's what it is. So, yes, you got into the. I used to know when I always got in the breaks, I would always try to make sure it was tough. You're not in every single one of the runs, like I said, when I was doing with the old cover 2 stuff, but he tried to at least be live in the different runs. So, and you were definitely live in this run, in the last run, and I think the run before, at least in the last 2 runs. So the Ed Shack goes to Thomas M. There it is. Talk about a man that's on a heater. Woo, Thomas, you were nice when you said you broke your losing streak. You meant it, man. Thomas M., congratulations. Another nice hit for you. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. When you're hot, you're hot. So there you guys go. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for everybody that did not hit, but your odds are now crazy, 1-30 and 1-29 on Sunday. So get your bids in. This is the second last break before the reload. No, we have this one and then one more before the reload. So yeah, second last double box Sunday on eBay before the reload goes in. So so thank you very much. I look forward to seeing everybody back here on Sunday with your bids. As I said, obviously we appreciate everybody's continued support. Enjoy the game tomorrow nights. Thomas M., man, we got to stop. We got to break up the heater. Thomas M. is on fire. It's been a while since he's been on fire like that. So congratulations to you. Like I said, it's always nice when you get into a hot streak. So congratulations. I'm not gonna try to sway anybody from being hot like that. But man, when you're hot, you're hot. So thank you very much. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations, Thomas. Been a loyal waffle board breaker for many, many moons. So it's always nice to see when people get on heaters like that. So like I said, thank you very much, everybody. I look forward to seeing you guys back here. Of course, I'll take this spot down off eBay, so that can't be bid on anymore. So thank you much, guys. Look forward, enjoy the last couple days before we get back here on Sunday, and definitely enjoy the game tomorrow night. Waffle Board Breaks loves all you guys, and Waffle Board Breaks is out. Thank you much, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.